So, when my daughter Greer was, oh yeah, Dan, you have to tell me what they all are. These were some more of the equipment that was next to the one with the great name Oliver Superior on it. And I just thought it was really cool in this beautiful setting, and just the remembering of old equipment that did whatever they do. I don't know exactly, but something about, farming and helping people. And it's just, it's really lovely to be able to acknowledge the memory of even things. When Greer was a senior at West High School, she has a gorgeous voice, but also is a little apprehensive about singing in front of people. But she was in the musical, and they performed in the Heights, and that was written by, I don't know if you've heard of Lin-Manuel Miranda. He's kind of well known now. It was extraordinarily moving, this In the Heights, when I saw it, and they did a really excellent job. But it was also exceptionally prescient, prophetic, exposing the insidious cycle of poverty that is easily detected in all of our major cities and not so major towns. When I read up on the play and Miranda, I found that he had written another musical to great acclaim called Hamilton. You might have heard of that one. That's been kind of in the news throughout the last few years. And that one highlights the life of Alexander Hamilton and his contributions to the establishment of our nation, and tells the story in a way that also calls out injustices that occurred then and pervade our country even now. And I just had to see it when it came out that spring. But at $100 to $200 a ticket, yeah, it was just not doable for us. Wasn't gonna happen. Still, Lin-Manuel Miranda wanted everyone to have a shot at seeing it. So he or someone created this app, right, that a person can download and daily enter the lottery for 2 $10 tickets. 4.5 years later, Howie, after confiscating my phone every day for the last year, he was using my phone too. He just kept entering every day. And he told me when we went on vacation, he says, I don't know if this is right, but I've just been praying that God would help us win these tickets this summer. I just feel like we should win it. So on Friday, actually it was Thursday, he texted me and said, so what are you doing tomorrow night? Do you want to go on a date? Because I'm not going to give up my shot, which is part of one of the songs in the musicals, and it would be funny if you knew the music, but it was really funny. I'm like, no way! So Friday night, we went to go see Hamilton, and our tickets, the $10 tickets, were in the very front row, where we could only see them when they were at the front of the stage. But still, it was so cool, and it was beautiful. Anyway, Lin-Manuel Miranda is, I believe, a modern-day prophet. He knows this country's history, he knows it well, and he knows the Constitution that supports it, and recognizes the beauty and potential these documents hold. He can also see the abuses carried out in its name, and he tells it with a culture-centric music style, casting of diverse leading roles, humor, and heartbreaking narrative, and with excellence. The prophet Hosea knows God and Israel's history and sees the abuses carried out in the name of religion and tells the story through his own marriage. Not much humor, probably no music, but definitely a lot of heartbreak. As uncomfortable as the entire narrative understandably makes us, Last week we talked about Gomer, who was labeled a whore, and Israel is continuously referred to as whore throughout the Hosea narrative and most of the prophets, actually. And I mentioned that the narrative goes on to say that Hosea's whore of a wife was not faithful because she felt the only way to get what she needs is to go to other sources. She says, they give me my bread and my water. They provide those things for me. My wool and my flax, my oil and my drink. And later God says she didn't know. She didn't know that it was I who gave her the grain, the wine, and the oil, and lavished her with silver and gold that she used to worship Baal, the god that is a thing, that is no God. She didn't know. And why didn't she know this? And whose responsibility is it to tell her? James Baldwin says, love takes off the masks that we fear we cannot live without, and know we cannot live within. I don't know if you can see Howie pretending he's falling off the rock there on the edge. He is absolutely in no danger of falling, but it's a great picture. Love takes off the masks that we fear we cannot live without, and know we cannot live within. And perhaps this is why we cannot see the love that God has lavished on us. And maybe that is why we cannot see the ones that need to hear and know of God's great love for them, that they are created in the very image of God, because they wear a mask and we don't recognize it. Maybe even recognize our own. And this is what the role of prophet is, to notice what is not